Hi guys, so today I want to tell my family's story of what happened to us in the Carr fire. So I'm sure anyone that's watching this video knows me personally and knows what happened to us and knows about the Carr fire because it was such a big thing. So I'm sure that most of the people watching this video, like I said, know us personally or are from Redding, California, so they're already gonna kind of know like what I'm talking about, but it was just important for me to get our story out. There were so many people that offered to help us or did help us or sent us gifts or even money, and I just kind of want to put our story out there, that way everyone does know what we went through, and like I want people to know like how much we appreciate all the help. So to start our story, a little bit about where we live. We live in Northern California, almost the most like north you can get. And where we live is very hot, very like dry, and just lots and lots of land and like just trees and lakes and like a lot of nature. So every year in Redding, California, we get wildfires every single year. Once it hits May, everyone here knows that it's fire season. Like from May to October is fire season, no matter like how the weather is. That's just what it is. So I believe the Carr fire started on July 23rd, and it started out in French Gulch by Whiskeytown Lake. And so since it started out there, a lot of people thought it was just gonna be like the normal wildfire that we get every summer, and it also started out by the lake. And so a lot of people in this town were just saying like it started right by Whiskeytown, like the fire is surrounded by water, so it's not gonna get like huge, it's not gonna be, you know, like a bad fire. It's just gonna be the normal wildfire. They're gonna get it out within like a week, and then we'll go back to normal. Well, for the next 3 days until July 26th, I had been watching the fire come over the mountains and the ridges, because where our house was is pretty much surrounded by mountains. And so our whole neighborhood had been outside on our driveway every night for 3 days up until like 4 a.m. just watching the fire come over and over. It was really weird. Like me and my sister-in-law and brother had been sitting in the driveway for literally 3 days just watching the fire, and like it seems boring because we'd be out there till 4 a.m. but watching that get closer and closer, like just thinking about it right now, like my stomach is turning. Just knowing that we were watching that for 3 days and still thinking that we were okay and it would never come to our house. That house is the house that me and my brother grew up in. And so living there now, you know, we kept telling his girlfriend and my husband Levi that we had been like, we've seen fires come over those ridges before. Like we've seen them come over those mountains before, and it's never ever gotten to our neighborhood. And so a lot of people in our neighborhood were kind of just like, we were worried, but we were kind of just like brushing it off. Well, on the third day that we had been watching it, so July 26th, my husband was at work, and if you guys don't know, he's a firefighter for Cal Fire. And so I had texted him and I just said, we've been watching the flames come over the mountains, you know, for 3 days, and I said, like, should I be worried? We can see them from the driveway. And it was just starting to get really like every day the smoke was getting thicker, the flames were getting closer, and like the second it hit dark, our whole sky was just orange. Like it was just a huge orange glow. Like I don't even know how to explain it. It's the weirdest thing I've seen. I'll put in some pictures and videos here if I have them. But it was crazy, and it was really scary. So my husband started like talking to some people that were on the fire, and everyone was saying that it would never get to our neighborhood, it would never get to our community. And so he just kind of told me to relax and said, if you feel the need to pack some stuff, do. And if you feel the need to leave, do. But don't get yourself too worried. Don't get yourself too worked up. It's not going to get close to the house. It's not going to go into the neighborhood. Like, just to kind of relax. Well, then that third night of watching the flames come over the mountains and stuff, me and my sister-in-law are sitting in the driveway watching it again, and one of my friends that lives in a community like 5 miles or even less down the road starts a Facebook Live video, and I pull it up, and she says that they're about to get evacuated, and that she showed the mountains near them, and it was just like even brighter than at our house, obviously, and it just looked so close. And she was saying that she was scared and that they all had stuff ready to go. And once I heard that, I really got scared, because I knew that she was 5 miles or even less down the road, and that if it really got to them, it was gonna get to us, because where they live, like right after their community, it's just trees and forest up to our neighborhood, and I just knew like that it would go through that stuff so fast, because it was so dry and there were no other structures in between like our neighborhood and their community and like their neighborhood. And so once I saw that, I called my husband again, and I just said that Keswick was about to get evacuated, and that I was starting to get really scared, and I just got like this gut feeling, and I just knew that I needed to get stuff ready, because I was thinking that we were gonna have to leave in the middle of that night, or like super early that morning. And so I got like our important documents and like my important jewelry and stuff like that, and some change of clothes for our daughter, and like her favorite blankie and just stuff like that. Got that stuff together and just had it like in a circle on the floor in my room, and I just left it there. That way, whenever we had to leave, if we had to leave, we could just like throw it in the car and go. So I decided to try to get some sleep, even though I was terrified that I was gonna get woken up by the cops saying like, you need to leave. But I tried to get some sleep, and the next morning I woke up and my husband said like, does it look any worse? Have you guys got evacuated yet? Like, what's going on? And I go outside at like 7 a.m. and I see my next door neighbor like with her car packed like completely to the roof, and her daughters are like ready to go at 7 a.m. and a lot of the other neighbors were packing too, and so I really got scared when I saw that. So I went over and talked to my next door neighbor, and she said that her parents' house had burned down, and that where her parents lived, like, it was still a ways from us, but it was a place that they never thought the fire would get. And so she said she was not waiting for an evacuation. She was going to get her stuff ready, get her daughters ready, and go. And so from then I went in and I woke up my brother and the people in our house, and I said, I think we should really like get our stuff ready, because our next door neighbor is like about to leave. And so me and my sister-in-law got up and got pretty much everything that we really thought was like most important and put it in our cars. And then we kind of just waited, because we did have 2 sleeping toddlers and my brother was asleep, and we hadn't gotten the official evacuation, so we decided to wait around like while it was still safe and just kind of wait to see what was going to happen, but we knew that we were like ready to go. And so we waited for a little bit, and then my husband got sent home from work. And to have the biggest fire in like California at the time, to send home a firefighter from like our main firefighters association, I knew that it was not good. Like when he called me and said he was on his way home and that they had told him to go home and like he didn't ask to go, that really made my stomach turn, because that really like showed me that this isn't good. This fire is getting too big. It's going in directions that they didn't even like think it would go. Like my husband was trying to explain to me that fires are kind of predictable. Like they know like the way that it goes, and like they can tell by like the wind direction or by, you know, what's fueling the fire. And this fire, the Carr fire, was just going all over the place, and it was not following what fires normally do, and they didn't know how to control it because it was so unpredictable and it was so like rapidly growing, and it was like fueling itself. Like when my husband got home, he came in and he said, we're gonna make sure everything is ready to go, but let's stay home for a little bit because no one in our neighborhood has gotten evacuated yet. And he said like they know when to evacuate people, so let's just wait for the final word as long as we're safe here, and that way we're a little bit more comfortable. We're in our own home. We're not like at someone else's home just like watching Facebook videos or reading the news. Like we were trying to calm ourselves a little bit by staying home. Like we thought it would just make us a little bit more comfortable. And so we stayed there. My husband actually took a nap. We made dinner and everything. And during dinner, right after my husband finished eating, he went outside because we had been getting like major ash. And so we kept going outside to like check the smoke and check the ash. Like we were getting full-sized like leaves fall on our cars, fall on our driveway. And so he went outside to check, and it was just black smoke, and our whole entire like sky around us was just bright orange and red. I'll put a picture right here, and that is what our driveway looked like about 35 minutes before we left. So once he saw what it was like out there and how all of our neighbors were outside starting to get really like scared and ready, he decided to take the dirt bike over across the main road and just see what the other neighborhoods were doing and see if they had gotten any word. So he went over there and he drove around for a minute and kind of saw how close the fire was getting. And within minutes, the flames were getting up into that neighborhood, and the law enforcement over there was screaming, grab your family and go. Like, don't grab your stuff, grab your family, grab your pets and go. Like, they were saying, get the hell out of here. Like, don't worry about anything, just get your family and leave. And I'll put in a video right here of that happening.
Get in your cars and leave the area. This is a mandatory evacuation. Get in your vehicles, collect your family members, and leave the area. Do it now.
Then my husband quickly ran over back to our house, and he said, Taylor, it's time. Like, get Mackenzie, get the dogs, and let's go. So I put our dogs and our daughter into the car, and I ran inside the house, and I wanted to make sure that I grabbed my daughter's favorite blankie because she's had it since she was a baby. So I did that, and as I was grabbing her blanket, our power in our house just shut off and started like, all the lights just started like flickering and shutting off. And I remember I was in our room standing there trying to think of anything else to grab, and when the power started doing that, I remember looking at my husband and just freezing. Like, I don't know how firefighters do it, because I literally froze just from the power shutting off. And I looked at Levi and I said, the house is gonna burn, huh? And he said, we don't know. I stood there and like, I don't know what it is, but I just knew, like, in my head, like, it hadn't even gotten to our neighborhood or anything yet, but I just knew in my stomach, I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna stand here. And I just kind of like needed to freeze for a second. And then okay, once that was over, once I stopped that, I ran and got in the car and left. And since we never actually got an evacuation notice, our whole main road was just full of traffic. Like, we were stuck. There was nothing we could do. There were people going on the side of the road, like, there were people like trying to push their way in, and then on top of that there was law enforcement and fire trucks and everything coming in. So then we were even more stuck because no one wanted to block their way. So we were stuck in that traffic, and everyone was just starting to get really scared. I'll post a video right now of me driving out of our neighborhood, and I'm not exactly sure why I even decided to take this video, but for some reason I felt like I needed to have it that way, like I could just look back on it. I don't know why, but I'll put it right here. By the way, ignore how I'm sounding. Obviously the situation's crazy, so I just was in shock. I don't even remember taking the video, honestly.
Sun blocking the, I like the sun blocking the silk.
Oh my god. Holy shit. This is real.
Macy there. Macy will get super sick from
So once I got down the road, I got about like 5 minutes down the road, and we have this big dirt like turn off area. So I pulled out there and I look over towards the direction of where our neighborhood is, and I'll put a picture right here. This is what I saw. And I lost it. Then we went to Levi's parents' house, which is about like, I don't know, like 10, not even 15 minutes away, like less than 15 minutes away. And by the time we had pulled into that driveway, my brother already got a call from one of his friends that said they were driving out of the neighborhood and our whole street was on fire, like within 10 minutes. And so we did not get evacuated. We did not get an evacuation notice at all. And our whole street was on fire within 10 minutes, like that. I know that it was an unpredictable fire and everything was crazy, but that just like, it really upset me, because if my husband hadn't got sent home, like what if me and Mackenzie were still at the house? I would have never taken the dirt bike to go to the neighborhood across the street. Like, I wouldn't have been able to with Mackenzie and just me there. And so knowing our whole street was on fire within 10 minutes just really, like, really upset me. So that is pretty much our story with the Carr fire. We, later on that night, we stayed at Levi's parents, and about 3 in the morning, and I went on Facebook just to like look at the like fire update or like the acreage and stuff like that, and I saw a Facebook live video of some guy that like drives through the fire and does like media, and he just said, this is a Facebook Live of the Keswick Estates neighborhood, and he was saying like, okay, you know, I'm on Puffin Way, it looks like this side of the street is mostly okay and this side is gone. And the way our neighborhood is, it's Puffin Way, and then our street is like this, Cape Cod. And he got to the end of that street and to where he was looking at our street, and he just said, if you live on Cape Cod Drive, I am sorry, but pretty much that whole street is gone. Pretty much our whole street was completely leveled. It was just, it was crazy. But from there, I bawled my eyes out for a month straight. And obviously I'm still crying, but I literally bawled my eyes out for a month straight. Like, I felt like nothing good was coming our way. That feeling quickly changed, because within a month of the fire happening, I had so many people reaching out. We had people giving our family gift cards. We had people bringing bags of clothes. We had people donating onto a GoFundMe that our best friends made, and they don't even live in California. They live in Minnesota. So we had people not even in California thinking about us and praying for us, and it was just so amazing. We had people like buying Mackenzie toys and giving her toys that were their kids, which is so thoughtful. Like, it just blows my mind. And we had Levi's work reach out, and they helped us a lot. Like, they did so much for us. And there was just, I cannot even count how many people helped and how many people like offered help or offered their home or offered like just so much. I thought that this town, like, I thought this town was really just going to shit. But when this fire happened, I have never ever seen a community come together like Redding did. Like, we had booths at the mall, we had booths at grocery stores, we had people bringing like pet food to you, we had people delivering diapers to you. There were stores in our mall giving you free clothes. Like, Macy's was giving people free clothes. We had a restaurant in our town that was offering Carr fire victims free food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day, every day, until they were able to buy their own food. They had like just so much. People were making decals for your car. People were making t-shirts, sweatshirts, like just all kinds of stuff. There were businesses selling stuff and donating 100% of the proceeds to Carr fire victims. There were, you know, contractors willing to do your house for, like, to help you with your new house for free. We had rental companies like waiving rental application fees, and it was just an outpouring of love. Like, I have never seen or felt anything like that, and it was just so amazing. So I do want to say thank you to everyone that helped us. We don't know how to thank everyone. We have been thinking of ways that we could give back and thinking of things that we could do, and we are going to be doing something, but we just haven't figured out quite what yet. But that is our story, and honestly the story is still going, because we have probably a year and a half until our new house is rebuilt, and if not longer. And I am going to be making videos about that, like update videos on how the new house is coming along, and like videos of the new house, and videos on what's happening in our life, because this has dramatically affected our life, and literally not one day goes by that I don't think about the fire, and I don't think about our old house and what life would be right now if we hadn't, you know, been in this situation. Because as sucky as it was, it made Levi and I so much stronger. Like, we feel like it's really helped us in a way. I don't know. We've taken a lot from it. Thank you for watching and listening to our story, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, just let me know, or, you know, comment down below. And if you want to subscribe, that way you can see our journey and our new house and kind of hear more about it, then please do. So I'll see you in the next video.